Go Island is brought to you by German Auto Import Network.
The BC Summer Games are coming to Nanaimo July 17th to 20th. That's what we're talking about today on Go. Volunteers haul garbage out of Nanaimo Harbor for the love of orchids, and steampunk literature, part of Bookfest in Nanaimo this Saturday. Triumph, aspire, challenge, encouragement, excellence, community potential, future, and courage. All words to inspire on the BC Summer Games torch here at the Nanaimo Ice Centre. We're going to talk a lot about the BC Summer Games today on Go Island, but we're starting in Nanaimo's Inner Harbour. Divers and non-divers alike joined forces on Sunday to clean up the trash that lies beneath the surface. In the end, there were about 60 volunteers hauling up 55 loads of trash from Nanaimo's Inner Harbour. That totaled about 1,200 kilograms, which is fantastic, but at the same time, kind of sad that it had to be done at all. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. Jeff Lott is the president of the BC Summer Games, and
Kait.
we're standing in front of the symbol of it all.
Yes, we are.
What is the significance of the torch?
Well, it's the Summer Games. Well, actually, it's the BC Games torch. And it goes from games to games throughout the province, whether it's a winter or summer games, and it's put up in a space within the community that's very public, so lots of people can see it.
Is there a torch ceremony where somebody carries the torch? What's that process like?
That's a very good question. Yes, we had the torch lighting ceremony. It was to mark the 100 days out from the games.
Okay.
It took place down in Maffeo Sutton Park. We had a good crowd there, about probably 400 to 500 people there for the lighting of the torch, and we had just a tremendous kickoff. The torch had a few issues, not unlike the Vancouver Winter Games and over in Sochi.
I remember.
So we've got something to live up to for our opening ceremonies on the night of the 17th. Maybe we can rectify that.
And does someone carry a torch as well? Do
Actually,
we know who that is? Yeah.
We had 4 young athletes that night to carry the torch.
Okay, so that's been done.
They brought the torch across the harbor. And then ran it along the waterfront right to the opening ceremony. So that's been done, but we'll be stepping that up too for the opening ceremonies as well.
Okay, we're going to talk about what is still needed at this stage. I think we're about 2 months out now, 3 months out, July 17th to the 20th, the BC Summer Games in Nanaimo. We're going to talk more about that after a short break. Touring a greenhouse filled with orchids from all around the world, escaping a straitjacket in the name of children's literature, and houses for free. Yes, houses for free.
Hello, I am Tina from the Kerplunks. Did you know with music lessons, you can increase your child's brain synapses? That means lots of connections in the brain. Woohoo!
This is Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. If you'd like to volunteer for the BC Summer Games, now is the time to start planning for that. www.bcgames.org. We're going to throw things over now to Jocelyn Matwee. She's spending some time with a man in Parksville who has loved orchids since he was in his early 20s. Beautiful flowers and not easy to grow, very time consuming. Another thing that's time consuming is coordinating volunteers for the BC Summer Games coming to Nanaimo July 17th to 20th. There are over 3,000 volunteers needed altogether. About 350 specifically in accommodation?
That's right, and that's the least glamorous part of the Summer Games.
Why?
Because we have 19 schools that are going to accommodate all these students, the athletes, all the different.
Something about mattresses, tons and tons of different mattresses laid out in the gym floor.
3,500 mattresses. And no, they're not going to be in gym floors, they're going to be actually in classrooms. So that's all being organized by the Accommodations Directorate. But we need volunteers to help us be dorm hosts and dorm captains. We need people to help prepare the site. So we need 350 people 250 of them would be dorm hosts, and that would be having things like 4 to 8 hour shifts, checking kids in, and all of those kinds of things, and just kind of keeping an eye on things.
And does it go overnight through the evening hours?
24/7
Wow.
during the game. So it's really important that we have people there at all times. So they can do shifts of 4 to 8 hours. Parents can bring their kids actually if they want to.
A sleepover, a camp out in the school. How fun is that? You say it's the least glamorous job, but I imagine that the energy is a little bit electric is one way to describe it. You have teenagers, co-ed.
In some venues there are co-ed.
Chaperoning's very important at this age.
But accommodations, they've really figured that all out, so that's not an issue. They don't have to worry about chaperoning or discipline. The coaches and officials do that kind of thing. So it's a matter of welcoming people, checking people in and out, and just keeping an eye on things.
Making sure they know where the washrooms are. Do they have enough blankets?
Right.
Are they happy and taken care of and comfortable?
And clean, and everything's working really well. So it's an important thing for people in our community to contribute to our community. It's really an exciting way to help your community.
And it can be, as you mentioned, you can bring your kids, so it can be a family activity.
It can be.
You can do it as a group, as a family.
Yeah.
And what a way to meet people from across the province.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Any other numbers, statistics there that you want to share about the accommodation directorate?
3,500 mats, but
19 schools. What's this?
Yes.
40 site prep. You need 40 volunteers
to help get things organized and set up prior to the athletes arriving.
Okay.
And then taking it down at the end too. And then
when would that
cleaning all
start?
of those mats.
When would that start?
Well, just the day or two before this actual site prep, but then cleaning, after the 20th, the 21st, 22nd.
So it's not a huge time commitment on people's part. It's
not at
just,
all.
Pitch in 8 hours in total all at once or split up and you kind of done your part.
Right.
Okay, thanks,
Yes,
Chris.
You're welcome.
If you want more information and if you want to sign up to be a part of the buzz that is the BC Summer Games coming to Nanaimo July 27th, the best thing to do is go online, www.bcgames.org. How much do you think houses cost these days? $250,000, $400,000, maybe $1 million? Well, how about free? Yep, there are houses up for grabs, literally, in Langford. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4, and it's no accident that we're standing in front of the Nanaimo Ice Centre across the street from the Soroxman Field and the Aquatic Centre, because this is kind of a big focal point for the BC Summer Games.
It is.
What's going to be happening at these venues?
Well, right here we're going to be having inline hockey at the Nick. It's also going to be the area where we organize all the athletes for the opening ceremonies, which are going to be over in Rotary Bowl. So they'll be marshaled over towards the field, onto the field. There'll be a huge reception, entertainment on the night of the 17th. Should be fabulous. Across the way over in the pool, we've got swimming. So all the speed swimming. We've got synchronized swimming over at Beban. We've got sailing going on, rugby, track and field. There's just a huge number, equestrian as well. So we have athletes with able-bodied athletes and athletes with disabilities competing in these games coming up.
We've been talking a lot about the internal organizing that's taking place as far as volunteers, and we'll talk about meals in a minute because we do feed all of these athletes. But what about for the general public? I mean, you can come out and sit outside in the sunshine in July and watch some sport.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've had 2 or 3 people walk up to me and say, "Boy, this is exciting. We're really looking forward to coming to the games. What's it going to cost me for tickets? How do I get tickets?" You don't need tickets. It doesn't cost anything. We'll be putting the information out there about what the venues are for the different sporting activities, what the times of the activities are, and people can just go to the games and watch them free.
For free. I didn't know that. That's fabulous. Now we have to feed these people, these 3,200 athletes that are coming to town.
We absolutely do. So
How are you going to do that?
Well, we're going to be feeding them their breakfast and suppers. Will be at John Barsby School. We're going to have all that set up to be a absolutely wonderful kitchen. Ashwak Siri from the Grand Hotels, our food services director, she's brought her chefs online. They're taking care of it. I think the athletes are going to be fed very well.
Do the volunteers get fed too?
No, well, there has been another company come online apparently, and some of the volunteers, although they don't expect it, there'll be some food made available for them
Absolutely.
too. And then for lunches, the athletes will have box lunches, so those lunches will go out to whatever sporting venue they are at. So for instance, the sailors, they'll be given their box lunches, they'll put it in their boat and they'll head offshore. And they'll have their lunch out there while they're competing.
Makes me wish I was 14 years old, which is the average age of the athletes coming to town, and so I could participate myself.
Absolutely. The athletes are going to be 12 to 18 years of age for the most part.
Now, if there's one thing you need, I know we need volunteers in all kinds of capacities, but we also need businesses in town to step up and say, here's some product. What do you need? What kind of products, what kind of things can you accept right now?
Well, you can well imagine with the athletes between 12 and 18 years of age, there's a lot of food consumed. So
Yes.
we'd love to have support from the community in that way. We have our director at Friends of the Games, headed by Rod Milner. He's been reaching out to different businesses in town to bring in that support in-kind services or direct donations. So,
And the best place is the website.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Excellent. Thanks, Jeff.
Good.
I'm sure we'll be
Thank you,
speaking
Kate.
again
Yeah,
over
I
the
look
weeks
forward
to
seeing
come.
you at the games.
Can't wait. It's a great way to enjoy all of the work that volunteers have put into making the BC Games possible. Attend in person, lots of venues, out in the sunshine for free. Support the community, support the up-and-coming athletes. We're going to throw things over now to author Marty Chan. He's in Nanaimo touring schools, impressing, wowing, and inspiring kids by escaping from a straitjacket. He's doing some Houdini thing. I actually had the privilege of working with Marty Chan several years ago. Great guy. He is one of many, many authors and illustrators coming to Nanaimo for the 28th annual Vancouver Island Children's Book Festival, Bookfest, taking place downtown this Saturday. That's May the 3rd. You can get full details, www.bookfest.ca. Awesome group of volunteers that make that possible every year. The authors have a great time, and of course, so do all the families that attend. BC Summer Games, July 17th to the 20th. Now's the time to get involved. They need your help. A great event for Nanaimo, www.bcgames.org. That's it for today's show. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Go Island is brought to you by German Auto Import Network. Clothing supplied by Catwalk Fashions. Kate's Hair and Aesthetics provided by Maffeo Salon.